After 60. Authority. Life goes on after 60.
If you're over 60 and you've tried skipping breakfast, 16/8 fasting, cutting out whole food groups, or loading up on anti-aging supplements because you saw it online, you might be doing your body more harm than good. Doctors in Australia are now warning that the most popular health hacks, intermittent fasting, detoxes, keto, carnivore, juiced cleanses, can trigger heart problems, falls, dangerous low blood sugar, and even sudden hospital trips in older adults. Today, you'll discover the 7 trendy health hacks that backfire after 60, and what to do instead if you actually want to live longer, stronger, and sharper.
When you turn 55, 60, 70, and beyond in Australia, you suddenly become the target of every health trend, miracle diet, and anti-aging promise on the internet. Open YouTube or social media and you'll see it. Intermittent fasting reversed my diabetes. Carnivore diet cured my joint pain. I lost 20 kilos on OMAD, 1 meal a day. Take these 5 supplements to live to 100. Some of these ideas come from genuine science. Intermittent fasting, low-carb diets, and time-restricted eating have been studied in metabolic health and weight loss. But almost all the popular content is made for younger, relatively healthy people, not for older Australians with heart disease, blood pressure issues, diabetes, medications, and more fragile muscles and bones. The problem is simple. What might be a harmless experiment for a 35-year-old can be dangerous, even disastrous, for a 70-year-old. After 60, your body is less forgiving. Your kidneys, liver, heart, and brain have less reserve. Your muscles shrink faster if you don't use and feed them. Your blood pressure and blood sugar can swing wildly, especially if you're on medications. In this episode, you're going to hear about the 7 most popular health hacks older Australians are trying right now, especially intermittent fasting and extreme diets, and exactly how they backfire after 60. You'll also learn the safer, evidence-based ways to get the benefits you want: weight loss, better blood sugar, more energy, clearer thinking, without risking a trip to the emergency department. So if you've ever skipped breakfast because an influencer told you eating in the morning spikes insulin, or you've tried cutting to 1 meal a day, or you're thinking about going keto, carnivore, or raw vegan in your 60s or 70s, stay with this right to the end. It could be the difference between slowly, steadily getting healthier and ending up on the floor with a fall, a faint, or a heart rhythm problem. Why older bodies react differently to health hacks. Before we dive into the 7 hacks, let's be clear about one thing. Aging changes how your body handles food, fasting, weight loss, and supplements. After 60, your muscle mass naturally declines, a process called sarcopenia, unless you actively fight it with protein and resistance training. Your bone density is lower, especially in postmenopausal women, making you more vulnerable to fractures. Your kidneys and liver are less efficient at clearing waste and processing drugs and supplements. Your blood pressure and heart rhythms are more sensitive to dehydration, electrolyte shifts, and rapid weight loss. You're more likely to be on medications for blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, pain, reflux, mood, that interact with diet changes. Add all of that together and you get one important rule. Rule 1. Any diet, fast, or supplement that stresses a young body will stress an older body more, and the margin for error is much smaller. With that in mind, let's talk about the 7 health hacks that are everywhere right now, and why they are so risky when you're over 60. Hack 1. Intermittent fasting without medical guidance. Intermittent fasting is probably the biggest global health trend of the last decade. 16:8, 18:6, OMAD, 1 meal a day, 5:2. There are dozens of versions. For some people, under medical supervision, it can improve weight, blood sugar, and even blood pressure. But here's the problem for older Australians. Most intermittent fasting advice online completely ignores age, medications, and frailty. If you're over 60, especially if you take insulin or diabetes tablets, have blood pressure medication, have a history of falls, dizziness, or fainting, are underweight, or have lost weight without trying, have kidney or heart disease, then jumping into 16:8 or OMAD because you heard on a podcast can be dangerous. What can go wrong? Dangerous low blood sugar, hypoglycemia if you're on insulin or certain diabetes pills and you skip meals. Your medication can push your blood sugar too low, causing confusion, falls, seizures, or even coma. Low blood pressure and falls. Fasting and low fluid intake can drop blood pressure, especially when you stand up. Combine that with blood pressure medications, and you've got a recipe for collapsing on the bathroom floor. Muscle loss. If your fasting leads to eating too little protein overall, you lose precious muscle, which you desperately need after 60 to stay mobile and independent. Medication timing chaos. Many drugs must be taken with food. Fasting can make you take them on an empty stomach, increasing side effects or reducing effectiveness. This doesn't mean intermittent fasting is always bad for older adults. But intermittent fasting after 60 should be treated like a medical intervention, not a casual experiment. If you're interested in time-restricted eating, start with 12-12, 12 hours fasting overnight, 12 hours eating window, which is basically no late-night snacking, not extreme fasting. Talk to your GP or diabetes educator about adjusting medications before you change meal patterns. Prioritize protein at each meal to protect your muscles. Hack 2. Extreme low-carb or keto diets without monitoring keto, low-carb, carnivore. These diets are everywhere. They promise rapid weight loss, fixing diabetes, and endless energy. For some younger, medically supervised people, carefully planned low-carb can be helpful. But for older Australians, there are several traps. Very low-carb plus diabetes medications. Just like fasting, slashing carbs while taking the same dose of insulin or tablets can cause dangerous hypoglycemia. High saturated fat intake. Many keto plans online push bacon, butter, fatty meats, and cream, which can worsen cholesterol and heart disease risk, significant when cardiovascular disease is already the leading cause of death in older adults. Constipation and gut issues. Cutting whole grains, fruits, and many vegetables drastically reduces fiber, increasing constipation, diverticular flares, and gut discomfort. Nutrient gaps. When you cut entire food groups, you risk deficiencies in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that support brain and immune health. If you're over 60 and considering a lower carb pattern, aim for moderate carb reduction, not extreme keto. Think less white bread, sugary drinks and sweets, more vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and control portions. Get your kidney function, lipids, and diabetes control monitored regularly. Keep plenty of fiber from low GI carbs and non-starchy vegetables. And never start keto or carnivore on your own if you have kidney disease, heart disease, or on multiple medications. Hack 3. Juice cleanses and detox diets. Juice cleanses and detox weeks promise to reset your system, flush toxins, and jumpstart weight loss. For older adults, they mostly do 3 things: spike your blood sugar, starve your muscles, and dehydrate you. Fruit and vegetable juices remove most of the fiber and concentrate sugar. A large glass of juice can contain the sugar of 4 or 5 pieces of fruit, hitting your bloodstream quickly. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, that's the last thing your body needs. At the same time, juice-only or liquid detox diets provide almost no protein, accelerating muscle loss are often very low in calories, which can cause fatigue, dizziness, and falls. Can disturb electrolytes, sodium, potassium, affecting heart rhythm, especially risky if you're on diuretics or heart medications. Your liver and kidneys do an excellent job of detoxing your body on their own, as long as you support them with balanced nutrition, enough water, minimal alcohol, and appropriate medications. You don't need a 3-day juice fast to flush toxins, but you might need a doctor if it makes you collapse. Hack 4. 1 meal a day, OMAD. An extreme calorie cutting OMAD. Eating all your daily calories in 1 meal is gaining popularity as a simple way to do intermittent fasting. For an older adult, OMAD combines several risks: long fasting window, low blood sugar, low blood pressure, weakness, huge single meal reflux, discomfort, digestion problems, hard to reach protein requirements, muscle loss. Extreme calorie restriction, going to 800 to 1,000 calories per day, can produce fast weight loss. But in older adults, rapid weight loss is strongly associated with higher mortality because much of the weight lost is muscle. Less muscle equals more falls, slower recovery from illness, higher risk of hospitalisation. If you need to lose weight after 60, aim for slow, steady loss, 0.25 to 0.5 kilograms per week. Focus on protein at each meal and resistance exercise to protect muscle. Use meal timing that fits your lifestyle. For many older Australians, 3 smaller meals or 2 meals plus a snack works far better than OMAD. Hack 5. Huge supplement stacks without professional advice. Anti-aging supplement stacks are big business. Vitamin D, B12, magnesium, fish oil, collagen, turmeric, resveratrol, CoQ10, NAD boosters, longevity blends. The list is endless. Some supplements are genuinely useful when you're deficient or have specific conditions. But the idea that more supplements equals more health is flawed, especially when you're already taking multiple prescription medications. Risks of unsupervised supplement use in older adults. Interactions with medications. St. John's wort interacts with antidepressants, blood thinners, and many other drugs. Ginkgo and high-dose fish oil can increase bleeding risk with blood thinners. Magnesium can interfere with some heart and bone medications. Overdosing fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins A, D, E, and K accumulate in the body and can reach toxic levels. Kidney strain. High doses of some supplements, especially in people with reduced kidney function, can cause harm. False security. People use supplements to offset unhealthy habits instead of changing diet, exercise, sleep, and social connection. A safer approach. Get your nutrient levels tested, B12, vitamin D, iron, folate, before supplementing. Use single, targeted supplements under GP or dietitian guidance, not massive stacks. Remember, food first, supplement second. A Mediterranean-style diet has more evidence for longevity than any pill on the market. Hack 6. Aggressive bulking or GYM programs copied from younger people on the other end of the spectrum from fasting and detoxing is the over-enthusiastic gym transformation. You see a 30-year-old on YouTube deadlifting huge weights, doing high-intensity interval training, HIIT, and you think, if they can do it, I should push myself too. Strength training is absolutely one of the best things you can do after 60. But copying high-impact, high-load routines designed for younger bodies can cause acute injuries, torn muscles, tendon ruptures, back injuries, joint flares, arthritis aggravated by excessive load, cardiac strain in people with underlying heart disease. Older adults need progressive, supervised strength training, starting light and increasing gradually. Focus on functional movements, sit to stand, step, UPS, balance, light weights, clearance from a GP or cardiologist if they have heart, lung, or serious chronic conditions. The goal after 60 is not to crush workouts. It's to build capacity safely and consistently so you can keep living independently, climbing stairs, carrying shopping, getting up from the floor. Hack 7. Ditching all carbs, all meds, all doctors. After one podcast, perhaps the most dangerous modern health hack is the "I know better than my doctor now" mindset. You listen to a charismatic podcaster or influencer who says, your GP is keeping you sick. You don't need blood pressure pills if you just eat like this. Statins are poison. Throw them in the bin. Doctors don't want you to know this fasting trick because it would kill their business. So you decide, overnight, to stop blood pressure or heart medications, stop diabetes drugs, stop antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications, stop thyroid or seizure medications while simultaneously starting a radical diet or fasting protocol. This is not biohacking. This is playing Russian roulette with a body that has far less margin for error than it did at 30. If you've been on medications for years, your body is used to them. Stopping abruptly can cause rebound high blood pressure, increasing stroke risk, dangerous high blood sugar, worsening depression or anxiety, seizures, heart rhythm disruptions. If you and your doctor agree that a medication may no longer be needed, you should taper and monitor, not go cold turkey because someone on the internet told you medication is toxic. Rule 2. Never adjust or stop long-term medications based on a podcast, video, or book, only in partnership with your GP or specialist. What to do instead? A safe, realistic longevity plan after 60. So if harsh fasting, extreme keto, juice cleanses, OMAD, supplement stacks, and internet-driven med changes and not the answer, what is? Decades of research on healthy aging and longevity, including in blue zones, where people live the longest, point to a surprisingly simple, unsexy formula. Eat mostly whole, minimally processed foods, plenty of vegetables and fruit, whole grains in sensible portions, legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, nuts and seeds, fish, and modest amounts of lean meat, olive oil. As main fat, this Mediterranean-style pattern consistently reduces heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and dementia risk. Move your body every day. Aim for at least 150 minutes per week of moderate activity, walking, swimming, cycling. Add 2 to 3 days per week of strength training. Include balance and flexibility work, Tai Chi, yoga, simple balance drills. Protect your muscles and bones. Eat protein with each meal: eggs, yogurt, dairy, legumes, fish, lean meats, tofu. Get enough calcium and vitamin D. Diet plus safe sun plus supplements if needed. Avoid long periods of bed rest or inactivity. Every day in bed after 70 costs. Your muscle, sleep, stress, and connection. Prioritize regular sleep. Treat sleep apnea if present. Use simple stress tools: breathing, mindfulness, enjoyable hobbies. Stay socially connected. Loneliness is as toxic as many bad habits. Use medications and supplements wisely. Regular medication reviews, especially if taking 5+ medications. Targeted supplements only when clearly indicated. No drastic changes without professional guidance. Personalize. Don't copy. Your age, conditions, medications, preferences, and culture matter. What works for your 35-year-old neighbor may not be safe for you at 70. If you still want to try time-restricted eating or modest carb reduction, do it slowly. With support, involve your GP or diabetes educator. Monitor your blood sugar, blood pressure, weight, energy, and mood. Stop and reassess if you feel weak, dizzy, confused, or fall more. How to talk to your doctor about health hacks without feeling silly. Many older Australians hide their diet experiments and supplement use from their GP because they're embarrassed or expect criticism. But your doctor can only keep you safe if they know what you're doing. Next time you see your GP, try saying, "I've been hearing a lot about intermittent fasting and low-carb diets for people my age. I'm interested, but I don't want to do anything unsafe. Can we talk about whether a gentle version might suit me and what would need to adjust with my medications? Or, I've started taking these supplements because I'm worried about aging. Can we review if they're actually useful or if any could interact with my medications?" A good GP or geriatrician will help you adapt trends in a safer way for your situation. Identify which hacks are outright dangerous for you. Monitor your progress with blood tests and check UPS. Work with a dietitian, diabetes educator, or exercise physiologist if needed. You are the expert in your life. They are the expert in physiology and risk. You need both sets of expertise at the table. When to seek urgent help if you've started a new diet, fast, or supplement and notice extreme dizziness or fainting, chest pain, or severe shortness of breath, confusion, disorientation, or sudden personality change, blackouts or seizures, severe abdominal pain, vomiting, or black stools. Call emergency services immediately. Tell them, and hospital staff, exactly what diet or fasting protocol you've been following and what medications you're on. Final message: gentle, consistent changes beat extreme hacks. The health and longevity game after 60 is not about extreme hacks, 30-day challenges, or punishing yourself. It's about consistent, gentle, sustainable habits that your older body can handle. A daily 30-minute walk will do more for your heart than a 3-day juice fast. 2 or 3 simple strength sessions per week will do more for your independence than any detox tea. A Mediterranean-style plate, eaten regularly, will do more for your brain than any supplement stack. You don't have to chase every trend. In fact, your greatest power now is to filter, to ask, is this safe for someone my age, with my conditions and medications, before you join the latest online craze. Your body has carried you for 60, 70, maybe 80 years. It deserves respect, not experiments.